All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. The 9-8 Detroit Lions season finale, taking down my Green Bay Packers, kiboshed our playoff chances, our playoff hopes. Depressing loss for me, but there's nothing but excitement in the air for the Detroit Lions right now. They have the 6th pick, they have the 18th pick. This team is just so promising, and we're going to talk about all of it in today's video. For a squad that started 1-6 and finished 9-8, I don't, playoffs or not, man, that is so unbelievably impressive. And like I said, there's just so much to be excited about surrounding this Lions team. They're young and they are extremely hungry. Very talented. So welcome back to the channel. If you guys enjoy, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button. I post daily NFL content along with weekly Lions videos a couple times a week. Some of you guys poking some fun at my Packers fandom, saying, you know, am I dodging the Lions video? I haven't made a video since Sunday. If you guys were wondering, I've been sick. I've been out of the country. I still am a little bit sick. I probably sound it. But as difficult as a loss as it was for me, I'm still excited for Detroit. You know, I'm still happy to see it. I love my boy Jamal Williams. Like I say, you know, my family's from Detroit. I used to live in Northville, just outside of it. It was a tough loss, but there's worse things in life. And just what Detroit's been able to do, and it actually kind of started off against my Green Bay Packers all the way back in early November. You know, the Lions were coming off a close loss to Miami, who at the time, Miami was just firing on all cylinders. And they're sitting at 1-6, and it was... You know, it was still a team that was just so close. Some time management, some game management decisions, just some execution at the end of games. It had costed them a couple of losses. They started the season with a 3-point loss to Philadelphia, 4-point loss to Minnesota, 3-point loss to Seattle, 4-point loss to Miami. They were really close, good games. The defense just wasn't quite there yet. And when we take a look at this Lions team, defensively, they really figured it out, specifically in the last 2 weeks. You know, held Chicago to just 10 points, held Green Bay to just 16, but they finished as the 5th best offense in the National Football League, putting up 26.6 points a game. And Jared Goff was a huge reason behind that, and I think... And it's crazy. The reason I bring this up is because I was reading a mock draft and they had Will Levis going to Detroit at number 6. I personally don't see that happening. Jared Goff, during his last 9 games of the season, went 209 of 306, which is good for 68.3 completion percentage. He had 2,400 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions, 0 picks. The Lions went 7-2 in those 9 games. So for the season, Jared Goff finished 6th in total passing yards with just under 4,500, 5th in total touchdown passes at 29th, and 2nd in interception percentage at just 1.2%. So Jared Goff had a phenomenal season, and I have a hard time believing that Detroit is going to be selecting a quarterback that early. Now, will they get one in the 2nd, 3rd round, 4th round? Maybe. In fact, I think they probably will get an eventual... guy for Jared Goff's replacement when that time comes. We're still a couple of years away from that. But to me, Jared Goff is the guy. This Detroit Lions team is ready to win. I think they're going to put a lot of money or a lot of draft, mainly going to be draft assets, into the defense. You know, Aiden Hutchinson, Kirby Joseph, the kryptonite of Aaron Rodgers. But Aiden Hutchinson becomes the first Detroit Lion ever to win Rookie of the Month twice. He was named it December and January, the Defensive Rookie of the Month. So this team is, I mean, don't let those defensive statistics fool you. Now, there will be some decisions they have to make on both sides of the ball as far as free agency goes, specifically with 2 great players, Alex Anzalone and Deshaun Elliott. I think both of them will be back in Detroit Lion uniforms. But you have young guys like Malcolm Rodriguez, Kirby Joseph with 4 interceptions on the season, Aiden Hutchinson just under 10 sacks. Don't forget... Oh my goodness. Dude, James Houston, Jackson State finishes the season just on a heater with 8 sacks, and he plays just 7 games. He was breaking NFL records. I mean, they're young and hungry, man. It really is as simple as that. But I know the 28th defensive rating, gave up the most yards on defensive yards. I know the numbers aren't sexy. I know they're not necessarily pretty, but they really figured it out. And they had some great defensive games against, like I said, Green Bay, Chicago. That Carolina game was a hiccup for sure, but you held the Jets to just 17, held Minnesota to just 23 at the time. Minnesota was just they were running and gunning. Held Jacksonville, a playoff team, to just 14. They almost took down Buffalo at home on Thanksgiving. Another playoff team, and the Giants held them to just 18. They started this win streak, or this, the second half surge against my Packers, holding them to just 9 in their first meeting. So defensively, they're so young, and I really think Brad Holmes is going to continue to focus on the draft and build through that draft, and then obviously, with some free agent acquisitions to just kind of fill in the rest of the holes. But man, this is a playoff team. They're a playoff team right now, and had a couple of things gone a little bit differently, they'd probably be in the playoffs right now at 9-8. So offensively, what are they going to do? Well, like I said, I think they're going to stick with Jared Goff. I do anticipate Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift to be back. Jamal Williams, breaking Barry Sanders' record, he had 17 rushing touchdowns on the season. 4.1 yards per attempt. He will be a free agent. I anticipate Jamal Williams to be back. As far as the receiving corps goes, you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who had 106 receptions on the year for almost 1,200 yards. He ended with 6 touchdowns as well. You have him. I hope DJ Chark comes back. He didn't play the whole season. He went through some injuries, but he finished with almost 17 yards per reception. I anticipate there will be interest in bringing DJ back because he was awesome when he was healthy, especially having that deep ball threat. Don't forget about Jameson Williams. He had that touchdown against Green Bay this past weekend that ended up coming back, but this is a guy who technically finished the season with just 1 catch. It was that 41-yard touchdown reception. Technically finishes with 1 catch. He had 9 targets. He was on a snap limit, monitoring his reps, monitoring his snaps when he came back from that torn ACL in the college football championship last season. But this is a deep threat. This is a playmaking threat, and we really saw it in the running. He had that 40-yard touchdown run. That's kind of where you had that whole not the touchdown run, but he had that 40-yard, almost should have been touchdown run. Kind of got caught up with the blockers in front of him, but you really saw the speed with that reception touchdown and that almost rushing touchdown. And although, like I said, you only saw, one reception and only 1 rushing attempt, the potential's there. Both of those plays went for over 40 yards, so he's an X factor. He's a big play guy, and having a healthy Jameson Williams, the rookie, the 12th pick of last year's draft out of Alabama, it's going to be awesome. It's just going to be awesome. I'm very excited to see what his career looks like, and we got that taste with that touchdown catch against Minnesota. So the future is looking great for Detroit, and we're going to continue to cover it all offseason, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But Lions fans, I want to hear from you guys. What do you want the Lions to do? I know the draft isn't until, April? We're still 4 months away from that, 3 months, whatever it is. I want to hear what you guys have to say, whether it's with the draft, whether it's with the Lions free agents, whether it's with the NFL free agents. Let me know what you guys are thinking and you want the Lions to focus on in this upcoming offseason. As always, hit that like button, hit that sub button. I appreciate you guys so much. First video back in, like I said, 5 days, something like that. Still feel a little off, but we're getting back there. Stay tuned for more Lions content, and I'll see you guys later.